help actually a little bit with the corner ball, maybe even track the one better. Oh wow, he played a cut break, missing the corner ball. And to me, that's going to land the one on the end rail a lot, which is not what the players want, Carl.
Yeah, that was bordering on a little bit too slow, wasn't it? I don't see what's wrong with breaking from the left and just going down the nose. That's what seems to be looking like more successful over the day's play that we've been watching.
Yeah, I agree. And we saw the Americans last night break from the right side rail, and we went to dinner and talked about it. I think Skylar breaks better from the left side rail, and I think I kind of, you know, Shane, it's hard to advise him too much on the break, right? But Skylar, I thought, especially seeing today, we saw 2 missed corner balls from the right side and a dry break from the right side from the Co-brothers. So I still think the left's better. This part of the game is where Han's really supposed to show up. Very smart player.
It's a bit bouncy today. Just now I like really the cue off the bottom is bounce back now.
Extension, please.
Hard to go for this as far as the make, I think. Maybe jump and bank it between the 2-4 back around table, slide the cue ball to the right side of rail, trying to get some distance between the cue ball and the one.
Oh,
never mind.
What a shot from Omar. And this just goes to show this is a guy who steps up when the chips are down. You may recall back in the World 9-Ball Championship, he was actually knocked out of the round by Aloysius over on Singapore, then clawed his way all the way back to the finals where he was defeated by Albin Ocean. So Omar is a guy who can make a ball.
Somebody's been doing their homework.
Look, what can I say? I love homework. I love pool and I love homework. And I hate this kind of bank shot that Omar is just about to have to take here.
Alawadi kind of calming Omar down, letting him know he's got plenty of time.
Look, shot.
Yeah, Omar looked like he was desperate to play the shot as if he had 5 seconds left, but he had plenty of time.
Yeah, I'm not one to talk about time fouls too much at the moment, but I think the guy's getting in a hurry is the bigger mistake rather than burning the time.
Forgot about that time foul, JJ. I've let you off with that this week so far. Thanks for reminding me.
Okay, so kick full ball. Yeah,
It's okay. I've had a little bit of it this week already, Carl, so I appreciate it. Not compounding it. All right, he could get this 3 to the end rail. Not going to get the snooker, but if he should judge it pretty well. Little high ball. Yeah, beautifully struck.
Okay, that was a little weird.
Yeah, I think I would have had him shoot at that, to be honest with you. If you look at it, it's a pretty big pocket from that angle, and tracking the cue ball wasn't too bad up and down. So
Yeah, Bader making that shot all day in their 7-5 win over Vietnam. Kind of curious.
all right, got to get through this to avoid the 9. off of 2 rails. Nice shot. Oh, that's a much smoother stroke than we saw at all from Han in his first match. Tell the nerves were pretty high, and he got a little quick at times, but that one there may settle him in, even though it was a pretty easy shot overall. Those mean a lot.
So both teams seeing a little bit of action in the opening rack, but it goes to the way of Singapore with the lead 1-0.
Cushion a bit bouncy.
Here's the last 3 balls of this rack, and the crowd are coming back into the arena. They've got the drinks.
In the second round, trying to get to that Elite 8, the quarterfinals. And I kind of think this is the most important round for the teams that are in the middle of the pack, the ones that can really settle in. And these are 2 of those teams. This type of match can really do a lot for them going further, and they're going to have to pull off some upsets no matter who goes on after this round.
Player 1, Omar Al Shaheen, sat on the left, Bara Al Awadi on the right. Lost in round 2 last year to the eventual winners, Germany. It's been a while since we've seen Team Germany. They opened up the event, didn't they, with a convincing win over New Zealand.
Yeah, I believe they play the Netherlands today. What a match that'll be.
Yeah, that's the next match. That's going to be potentially the best match of the entire tournament so far. Germany v. Netherlands, a rivalry as old as geography.
Rack 2, Singapore to break, leading 1 rack to 0.
The cue ball's going to get on top of the 1 here, but I think that kind of shows what you said earlier, Carl. Really wasn't, there was a square hit on the 1, but it wasn't really the best break, I think. But still, the corner ball down from the left side, lots of action, balls flying everywhere. I think he does have a pocket here. It may be hard not to go for this with the 2 hanging.
Yeah. I chance.
Yeah, I think Yap likes shooting it. I don't blame him.
I have a theory that Yap has incredible eyesight. You saw him in the U.S. Open in 2021. He was just drilling everything.
Well, when you're close to the ball, you don't get as much perspective. You really have to trust what you look at. You don't get a line between the cue ball and the object ball that gives you a lot of confidence in what you're aiming or how you're aiming. So here, just don't second guess.
He's taking it on. Oh, it looks good. It looks very good. Nice shot from Yap. Good team play as well, because I think his partner wanted him to play safe, but Yap fancied it, so he said, get out the way, let me shoot it.
Well, Han is no stranger to the World Cup format. Han, of course, appeared in the very first World Cup all the way back in 2006, but an unfortunate draw put him against Team USA. Earl Strickland and Rodney Morris drilled him, and that was the end of their run in 06. But it's not the end of their run here in 2022.
Yeah, well, these guys are very close. Done a lot of traveling together the last few years since Yap's really been on the world scene. So I think very comfortable conversations between the two Singaporeans.
When did you first see Yap? Because I feel like I hadn't seen him before the 2021 U.S. Open.
Fortunately, we have a mutual friend back in Dallas, another Singaporean that I actually met Aloysius probably 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago. Comes to Dallas about once a year and stays for a bit. Him and Shark Syed, another fine player from Singapore. Little let up there. So the first nervy shot, I would say, for Team Singapore. I don't think I go up and down here, Carl. What do you think?
No, just a little left. Nothing silly. And just trust the cue action and just float the ball in. But we'll see what Lian Han fancies, who's aiming high ball as well. So he's decided to go up and down, which I suppose it's each to their own, JJ.
Well, a lot of times when you're kind of in between, it's a little preference, right? Kind of like when you're close to the ball, a lot of preference in that as well. So far, very good Team Singapore. And this is after a very loose safety in game number one. You see that 9 ball, they're a little quick, right? That's what I saw in the opening match. So.
Yeah, it's a good start for Team Singapore.
And to squeeze past the pocket.
Still a little shell-shocked of the last match between Greece and Chinese Taipei. What an encounter that was.
I just nice the strength. I thought I hit too soft.
That Kazakis jumped directly onto the ball into a scratch. That's a heartbreaker. Kazakis, if you're listening, I'm so sorry, man. That's a bummer. Kazakis, of course, just a consummate delight of a human. If you ever get the chance to meet him out in the open, say hi. What a great guy. Unfortunate scratch there knocked him and Economopoulos out of this year's World Cup, but I'm sure we'll see him again next year.
Yeah, and what I saw was, of course, Kazakis always a guy that just doesn't vary too much performing, but Nikos was really starting to feel good at the table. It looked like to me, came with a lot of tough shots. An unfortunate 9 ball in the first game, but it was a pretty tough shot. I think he was worried about the scratch up in the corner. I just love to see Nikos plays. He comes with all the tough shots, it seems like.
Yap to break. He's breaking from the left as we look. Pay attention to the blue 2. Okay, that seemed to go in at ease, so tough shot coming up though. Very tough shot.
Yeah, and I wonder if you'll even have him play the shot. 'Cause the only reason is you're not going to elevate here. I mean, that's just kind of makes the shot about 2 out of 10, maybe less. And really, a high ball doesn't offer much for position. May see a rollout here, to be honest with you.
Where do you roll to?
Well, he may roll out past the 8 just a skosh.
He's gonna play the shot. Yeah. Okay.
Push out. Push out, Cole.
Again, the pretty difficult to gain position on the pink 4. Maybe just trying to improve the cue ball position a little bit here. Well, you put the cue ball kind of in the same place, it looks like to me anyways.
On a push out, do you have to move the cue ball? Can you just tap it really lightly with your cue?
Well, you have to hit the tip, that's for sure. But yeah, the push out, you can do pretty much anything besides double hit the cue ball. You can actually pocket the ball in front of you. Like if the 1 is in a bad spot, you could pocket the 1 and still on the push out. See, moving the 3 behind the 6-7. Double kiss, yeah. Omar being the 1 pocket player and bank player he is, maybe should have felt that double kiss coming. Caught it a little thick. He was trying to 2-rail it back down table. Actually, pretty decent shot. May have to bank at this, huh, Carl? For easy position.
Yeah, whenever the bank shot's on into the side, usually the players do take these on. Has he fluked the 5? He hasn't.
And I guess they had burned their extension already because
I feel like
kind of wasn't down on the ball. And then the beeps, you could see him going off and maybe pulled the trigger a little prematurely.
You know, we see a lot of banks into the side pocket, and we see players hitting them really hard. Is there something about that speed that helps the bank go in or something?
Well, certain speeds, if they feel like it's laying natural, they don't want the table to really take over, so they'll add a little more speed to help it hold its line, I guess. Best way to explain it. I don't think it's always really necessary, but...
We're about to see a 6-9 combination effort, and it's more than makeable. You would expect these guys to take care of these.
Man, Omar usually has a nice way of hitting them, hit these in easy, trying to open the pocket a bit.
Yeah, take care of it, he does. Kuwait are off the board in this match. This one's building up nicely. Singapore 2, Kuwait 1.
Kuwait to break, trailing by 2 racks to 1.
And ball's moving. Kind of shot Team Kuwait face with on this one ball.
Well, Omar doesn't mind the thin ones, even at a slow speed, and I think that's what he's got here.
Free time, free time. Extension.
You want to use the extension?
Just got to kill the ball with just maybe a tip of right.
I will talk.
Should kill out to the center. 2 rails around the purple 5.
Yeah, extension. Kuwait.
Is he cutting it to the left? I would have to cut this to the right.
Okay. Shot. Very good shot.
Well, here comes the short cue again. The make on the 3 should be pretty easy, but he's got to work the ball now that the 4's gotten covered up by the 9. Watch out for the side pocket by the 8.
Oh man, that is deja vu from the Kazakhis jump into the scratch pocket. What an unfortunate situation. You know, you'd think karmically they'd at least let you hang up in the jaws, at least give your partner another shot, but sadly, that's a depressing scratch.
Yeah, and I think if you asked Omar, though, he'd tell you that was on him. These guys are so good with the jump cue. I didn't expect the cue ball to go forward there off the 3. Just caught it on the second hop, and he really let up on the swing there. That's what created that big skid.
Yeah, look at the contact. Very rare a skid affects a 9-ball pool ball. There you see, look at that skid. That's also very rare. Things are going on. It's a strange day here at Wood Centre in Essex. The World Cup of Pool. Things are boiling up nicely.
Now, I think the table felt bad for the scratch on Omar, and they just gave it back to him. What happened with that skid? So, like a piece of chalk from the cue ball finally finds its way around and clips onto the object ball?
Well, there's differences of opinions. I played with the cleanest balls and the dirtiest ones, and I feel it's in the stroke myself more often than not.
Kuwait wins the rack.
Tell you what, though, I have felt a bit more humidity in the room today, and if you remember the first game in our last match when Kazakis overran getting from the 8 to the 9, he looked at that in rail a little strange, and I thought it boinged a little bit more than we've seen all week. So
Yeah, with you, JJ, Omar won't be happy with that effort. You expect the cue ball to skid out to the left a little bit more, but look at the contact. Bang, jumps up. It's what we call a kick or a skid, wherever you are in the world. But it's history. It's 2-2.
I suppose we should standardize what we call that, because kick in pool, and that's a very different thing. So why don't we, as a group, just call it a skid from now on?
I'll shake on that.
yeah, and the reason why Carl's saying kick is that's what they use in snooker for the same kind of instance.
And in snooker, they call a skid a heavy contact.
Rack 5.
I think.
Kuwait to break. 2 racks each.
Omar played a very light cut break in the opening, his opening break, and he went away from that quickly.
We've said this all season. We just feel that break, percentage-wise, over the year, you're just going to get more from it, I think.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, when you think about cutting the break a hair, it's really cut it heavy. But a cut, you're just going to hit different more often. That's just, it's just plain and simple in my mind, where if you play the heavy hit on the one, you're just going to be a little more accurate a little more often. May take this on, trying to play the cue ball off the bottom of the one, bringing it back behind the 2-3-7. I know they are jumping the ball, but the players are so amazing with the jump cue these days. I think that's got to be the shot, right? Bonus there. Now, if Han does have a shot, it's very close to a natural scratch in the side. He has to go for this cross corner. Don't think he has the cut in the upper right. But the safety's very touchy, it looks like to me, with the cue ball resting on the rail. And I think the cross corner is just as easy, and maybe a little bit of a safety in mind if you can follow your ball pretty heavily above the 3. Chose the other way to bank at it. And this bank shot, even though it was playable, I don't think there was ever really much of a backdoor safety, which I think had to be considered in that point.
Omar looks like he can just go forward 3 rails with a cue ball. Yeah, this is going to sit up nicely.
But you see that side rail there, Carl? A little more jump, right? A little more bounce. The table's breaking in.
Yeah, I thought the pace looked great, didn't it? And then it just had a little bit of a flyer. Like you said, though, it's very hot outside. It's hot in here today.
Looks like Omar and Bader are really settling in, kind of strolling around the table confidently, putting smooth strokes on, talking to each other. This is a good sign for Kuwait.
Should draw this back, getting pretty straight and close to the 7 here. No reason to leave distance. Partner a right-hander, so it's pretty ideal. And Badir, to me, looks a little more nervous than he did in the first round. Although Omar looks better.
Kuwait finally take the lead. It was a good performance in the first round match. Can they kick on now in round 2?
Of course, Omar and Bader made a combined 7 appearances here at the World Cup over the years. 2021, they were paired together and they took down Poland, of all teams. Poland, of course, a fierce competition. They will take down Poland only to play Germany in the second round. So whenever you're playing Germany in the second round, you better bring your A game, which they did not, and they went down. But they're hoping to get out of the second round here for the first time in their history at the World Cup.
That was a simple 9 ball. There you see the flags in the distance. Also, the rest of the flags are on the opposite side of the arena, so just
Kuwait
to the right.
Leading 3 racks to 2.
There they are. Badar to break. Let's see what he's got. Daisy again, wasn't a great cue ball, but the split just seems to be splitting better, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think you really have to miss them from that side, not to bury that wing ball, it seems. Thin edge on the 1 here, just trying to use the 7, coming a couple rails over. Omar usually pretty good at edging the ball, so we'll see. He's cueing downward, so that says he may be doing something else. Can he play the bank? Beauty.
Shot.
You know, I've been watching Phil Yates commentate for the past couple of days, and he is an absolute genius. And there's no way to really recreate his style, but I will say the one thing you can copy is that this rack looks a little bit like a roadmap to me.
Well, after that opening bank shot and a pretty nice long 2 ball, it's really opened up, and like I was talking about earlier, it's a big match for both these teams. I think they can play at a high quality and really take it on further in the tournament. Is that going to be a little heavy here, going away from the 9 now? So touchy business here late in the rack.
Very touchy business, this. Floating it in, rolling the cue ball, you're still going to lose it a little bit. And potting it, well, you're just going to lose it high on the right side of the table, so this is awkward.
Yeah, and he's so close to the rail, elevating, coming 3 rails, I don't think is any good. If he puts some speed on it, I don't think he can get around the table with a level cue. So he's got to ease it.
Well, that is a moment of madness. What is he doing there? He knows better than that. He's a finalist of the World 9-Ball Championship. Just pot the ball and give your partner a shot.
And I really sorry, Carl, I really think he recognized the scratch as well and still kind of forced it.
Is that the shot we're going to look back on at the end of this match?
Well, Yap slots in the 9-ball.
Rack 7. Singapore to break. 3 racks each.
Lian Han loses the cue ball again a little bit, but as we've said, balls are splitting a little kinder, and he's made 3 balls.
Yeah, and kind of crossed the one over, which is the no-no, right? Leads to the scratch, but also sometimes some dry breaks, and doesn't seem to be the case here. Partial pocket here. What do you think about that shot, Carl? Was that trying to get his opponent a little, or his partner a little easier shot? He could have just stopped his ball right there for the 4 down in the lower right. Now a little funny in the side pocket.
Yeah, maybe Yap feels that Lian Han maybe misses a few more longer balls than he once did. Should work okay though. Yap's very good at this type of shot. He gets maximum effort with very little stroke.
Yeah, last year, which I've always thought this as a young man, his timing is so good. Creates a lot of effortless power is what Carl's kind of talking about, and very accurate as well.
He's been having a hell of a year. He took down defending champion Joshua Filler at the U.S. Open 2021, then just turned around and beat Shane Van Boening 11-5. Only to lose to Carlo Beato in the finals.
And I really thought Shane was playing well enough to get a 6th U.S. Open. It's just how great the players are these days. So many of them.
Singapore wins the rack.
That mistake from Omar when he scratched on the 8 didn't only cost him that rack, it's cost him another.
You know, an interesting thing about when you play in the World Cup, if you get out of position, it's not you who's out of position, it's your partner. But if you get a bad positional shot on the 7, then you're going to either have to hit a very difficult 9-ball shot, or your partner is going to have to hit a extremely difficult 8-ball, and that's what we saw with Omar. It's a completely different game, I think. It's just about, not so much about how potting, it's more about how your relationship is with your partner and whether you can come back from a miss, whether you can forgive yourself and forgive your friend. It's just about relationships when it comes down to it. That's what I've always said. Pool is about your relationship with your friends.
Rack 8. Singapore to break, leading 4 racks to 3.
Yeah, well, from here on in the tournament, it's about putting some racks together after those big mistakes, I think.
We're going to be seeing a push out if you just tuned in for the first time ever to 9-ball after the break. The very next shot, you can always play a push out. So he can roll the cue ball wherever he wants. He could even pop the green or the pink or the red. Do pretty much whatever.
Push out.
You've got to bear in mind that Kuwait, when they come to the table, can either play the shot or pass it back, and you must tell the referee you're playing a push out. We've seen a few instances where players have forgot to say push out, and that is a foul. Where's the 3 going to end up?
He's trying to put it in a difficult position. Almost snookered himself on the 1, doing so.
Yeah, do you think he was trying to get it on that other rail near the 7?
Oh, I definitely think so. I was looking at how to get something on the 7. I might have cut the 4 onto that rail, onto the 7-ish.
This doesn't look the end of the world for Singapore. They can just roll the 1 ball onto the right rail and maybe chance going near the 9.
Just bump the 9, right? With the 5 being there. I mean, I'm surprised that Kuwait gave this back so quickly.
Yeah, they didn't even look, did they? Not a real look, anyway. Yeah, this is contest. It's going to double hit, though.
Yeah.
Well, Kuwait know something we don't.
I'm saying the table went a little left on him.
You're too kind, JJ. I'm going to say the eyes are not what they once were.
Interesting, he didn't. I guess he just caught a little thick to the pocket. I guess that's what's got him a little bit out of line. But these are important little shots. Those first shots really set up the rack, especially when they're laying nice, to be a little easier. Now a little tension here on this 2 ball with the 5 there. Now he's got to maybe add a little side spin.
It's okay, I believe.
Oh, they're in a great spot here. They should tie this match.
Top rail took a little flyer, but the players should recognise this a little bit more. He doesn't need to get near the 7, right? Just let it bounce off a little bit. You're good.
Yeah, anytime the 9 ball's so doable next to it, you really got to make a decision. Do I get any kind of missable on the 7s? And is there any reason to? Nice recovery there.
Relief in rack number 8, is it? Are we at 4-4? Kind of lost the plot here, roll it. 4-4. And we're just approaching that time of any match in a race to 7, where whoever makes a mistake from here on in, it could cost you the match.
Yeah, Kuwait is visibly relaxing there. I think Han is going to feel a little tight after missing that safety shot after the double kissing. And now Kuwait swept it up, and now they're kind of on a bunch of fans.
European pool fans as well, wearing Mosconi Cup jerseys.
Well, go ahead. The local time, of course, is 1:41 p.m. It was nice of them to commit to a little pool watching by ordering some drinks at 1 o'clock on a Friday. You love to see it.
Drinking an ice cold beer.
Thank you, right 9. Kuwait to break. 4-8.
Yeah, we had some guys from the Netherlands come in, some usuals, guys that follow a professional pool and getting ready for that next match.
Nice cold
Oh,
beer.
watch out, cue ball. He's going to get a piece of the 2, it appears. Probably just something to edge the 2 and keep him safe. Could get up behind the 3 ball here, just kind of edging the 2 into the 5. Now this is a decision. Do you just try to use the 9 or do you go for the premium safety up behind the 3? Well, I tell you, this is somewhat like the a rack or 2 ago where Omar had a cross corner bank. Now this time he's got to work the cue ball if he's going to attack. Omar just had to stop the cue ball on the 1. And Badir's going for the bake with a draw stroke. Could double this as well. Sweet.
What a sweet bank that is. He's happy with that one. He's Omar.
You're going to watch a nice snatch on the cue ball as well. Pure.
Enjoying the self out there. That's what it's about. Rolly, you mentioned studio before, didn't you?
Yeah, whenever you see a couple guys laughing and joking and beating you, it's got to be pretty hard to come back from that. Alawadi, very, very solid in their 7-5 victory over Vietnam. Now Omar is really stepping up in this game as well, but the 2 of them together could be trouble for Singapore.
Okay.
Got to tuck that shirt in. If any part of your clothes or body touch an object ball, that's a foul. And at this point in the match, you can't afford anything.
And the key to this is once you get in position, don't ever go lower. Don't say, oh, I got a little room. Omar getting a lot out of the stroke today. A little better tempo.
Yeah, I mean, also, I'm not saying killing the cue ball on that shot is a better option than that, but maybe that top rail played a little part in the decision. Because now we don't have to use the top rail. This is more like the Kuwait team we've seen in round
Thank you, rack 10. Kuwait to break, leading 5 racks to 4.
It's 5-4. The man breaking was the man responsible for that wonderful bank shot in rack number 9. And that has helped Kuwait take the lead. This match off the break, no one seems to have had an open shot at the lowest ball, but that has just changed. 8 ball is going to be the key ball in this rack. At least the 7's up there, JJ.
Yeah, you read my mind. At least the 7's near, so don't get too worried about it and get you out of line here early trying to do something special opening that 8 and 9. I tell you, this match we've had 3 or 4 lead changes already. I was going to say the only thing he could do there is maybe bump the 4 a little bit. I don't think it was necessary really though. You can play position on the 8. It does go in the upper right-hand corner. If you get on the 7 properly, you'll have options to go into that 8 and 9, or maybe even to the backside of the 8 for short side position. So really the 5's in a perfect place to get on the left side of the 7 here in a few shots. Okay. Should be good. Maybe a little further away from the 4 than he wanted, but he had an option to play from underneath the 4 there, not really having to draw the ball, right? So it's going to get close to the 5.
Oh, shit.
He can cut it in and go between the 7, 8, and back up.
Would you ever use this position to try to break the 8 and 9 out here, Jeremy?
It was fairly natural, I may. The only thing is getting out of position on the 7 can hurt. I mean, you're going to be close to the 7, but it can still hurt. Yeah, trying to play that shot and made the ball pull upward a little bit with that English.
Do you think he played the pot?
Absolutely, I think he did. I'll tell you, it's hard for the really top players to pass on this long rail bank when it's sitting right in front of you like this, Carl.
Yeah, it's a little hot in the venue today, so apologies if you've heard any hot language.
Extension call.
I was thinking play safe.
No, very safe.
I just play go green spot, cue ball. Okay.
And the thing about it is the 5-ball bank, excuse me, really doesn't lean towards getting on the correct side of the 7. So he's going to try and play the safety back 3 rails behind the 8 and 9, I think. So it's going to leave some distance.
This could be interesting because potting this ball, cue ball's definitely going to run over towards them 2 balls again, you think?
Got to watch out for the scratch between the 7, 8 in the upper left-hand corner.
Yeah, and over thinning this might not be too bad. It's not disastrous, but Singapore maybe just have the upper hand now. Well, they definitely have the upper hand, don't they?
Yeah, and this is where it actually lays pretty perfect to where you can come 2 rails behind the 7 and just don't baby it. You want the 4 to get away from the pocket a bit.
Well, maybe he went to pot the 5 ball. I don't know. Well, the cue ball is wonderful. It's gelled right on top of the 9, so that takes side rails out of the equation. He can only go off the top short rail. 2 rail kick.
That's all. Falling.
What I don't understand with that shot there, JJ, is hitting it really hard is going to make hitting the ball harder. And you're not going to get anything from hitting it hard. You may as well play it a lot softer and just try and get the 5 on this side rail.
Yeah, I learned that from Efren a long time ago. When you really need a lot to get safe. You know, if he does hit it hard and he does come across it, there's not really still a ton of options besides fluking it somewhere. And like I've been saying all week, you lose so much accuracy adding that speed. I like trying to play the contact. You wouldn't believe how the balls kind of jumble up on each other. Like you said, get up on the side rail. You just kind of live to fight another day a lot more often.
Want to go into it? Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like he kind of hit that ball a little loosely, although they had been getting loose, and Kuwait had been really running some racks there. Did that looseness kind of precipitate that hard hit a little carelessly?
Well, the guy's nice little shot here. The guys always are thinking about other options, and as far as like fluking it somewhere, again, that hit is so important.
Yeah, the positional shot from Lian Han was a little bit underrated. That could have started to get a little bit scary, and Yap's okay here. He can just float off the side for the 9 in the same pocket. It's good enough. It's more than good enough.
Again, you want to get through this ball, though. Could get a kick again. Kind of let up.
5-5. It's now a best of 3. There's nothing really separating these two teams. Very much like match number 1 just before this. We get to the business end of this World Cup of Pool. The strongest teams are coming through. We have lost a couple. Greece was a strong team, they're gone. Poland, strong team, they're gone. This was the safety shot from Lian Han. It was all about when the cue ball got gelled right on top of that 9, because it was touching the 9. Took away the 1 rail kick. And that was all she wrote.
And amazing the range of emotions in just this race to 7. Ups and downs. Another great team we lost early was Austria, of course, Finland. They played a solid match, and we'll see them later today as well. Mika Immonen, Hall of Famer, 2-time U.S. Open champion, World 9-ball champion. He's getting his game back, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's putting the air miles in. He's in all the events, and
Rocky 11.
you just need a little
Singapore to break. 5
confidence
racks.
and victories. That's what gets you that confidence. So can he put a good break here? It's been a little bit slappy so far. And you see he lost the cue ball a little bit. And this has probably been the story throughout this match. No one's really had a really easy shot at the 1 ball. The balls have dictated the play.
Well, Yap will attack here if he can see a piece of the 1, which I think he can. I don't see him pushing out from this position. He could kick behind it, not a tough kick shot, but I think he's going to attack.
Well, he could see an edge. He can see more than an edge.
Yeah, he's got to go here, I believe.
Yeah, especially somebody who pots the ball as good as Yap.
And I'm sure they're discussing where's the future in it, but the thing is, you just can't, unless you feel like there's a really good safety, you definitely can't roll out in this situation.
Extension.
Extension, please.
9-ball pool, got to take a chance a lot.
I just read that Yap quit school at the age of 15 to become a pro pool player. And it turns out that was the right decision, because that man has become a pro pool player.
If I remember right, he told me when he was about 8 or 9, he saw it on TV and he just decided, hey, that's what I want to do. Loved it immediately. Kind of expected not to get anything too favorable on the 3, but he still had to shoot. And a great shot on the 1.
Okay.
Lots of cover here, right, Carl? I mean, 7, 8, 9, the 5. I mean, you gotta feel like he's just gotta maybe play the 3 delicate and kind of roam up towards the 6 with the cue ball.
Yeah, I hear you. Is he having a look, though? He is having a look.
Nice, sweet shot.
Well, I'm never quite sure where the cue ball's going to finish up, but I don't blame him for taking that on. What a great pot. Straight in the middle of the pocket as well. Hit the 8 full and deserves this shot on the pink 4.
Well, this will do 3 rails around the 7 and 9. Should be pretty nice on the 6. Key here again is make sure you get through the ball. That way you hold the line you want. And you get off the rail somewhere near that chalk on the left long rail, middle diamond. Well, he got through it all right. Maybe a bit much. Wow.
Wow. We said, didn't we? We're approaching the stage of the match where a big mistake could cost you a place in the next round. What a mistake this is.
And I've seen it from a few teams. I do think the rails are getting a little bit more life in them.
Well, he could still pot it. He could still pot it. This ain't going to be easy.
Yeah, and that tells me right there, I don't know if y'all saw the cue ball off the 4th rail, but it really grabbed the side spin. It didn't spread to the end rail at all, so it tells me definitely a little moisture in the rails today.
And God, what a shot from the video team. Just having the exact right angle. Beautiful note.
He's jacked up. He's playing in the top left. Oh, what a shot. What a shot from the Han.
A flashback, you may say.
He's shaking his head, but maybe that was disbelief. Singapore are on the hill. What a rack and what a finish. He's still got it. Don't worry about that.
Carl, you were really going on about his eyes earlier, but that man has the eyes of a falcon. 2 impossible shots that he made look easy. Making 2 balls in 1 3-ball cut and a long 7.
Yeah, that was the 3-ball. That was difficult, wasn't it, JJ?
Yeah, and the 7 was center cut. We'll see it here in a moment, I'm sure. And I tell you, elevated didn't ever touch the rail, I don't think. Just perfectly struck.
Yeah, set that shot up in your pool room and have a go. They are ruthless. This is the draw. You see, Singapore 6, Kuwait 5. They're going to play the winner of Finland, Estonia, Switzerland, Hungary. That's going to be an interesting matchup as well. The winner of that will play JJ's USA. USA looking good. They beat a tough Poland team 7-2. Big win.
Yeah, now what I really like seeing from the guys is,
Singapore to break.
you know, the first match it was just pretty flawless in their win, but yesterday they overcame a mistake, something I think that all of us can work on at times, and want a different kind of way, putting a few racks together, but just a lot of containing shots. Very impressive. Oh, Oh, huge mistake. You talk about a mistake, Carl. That's the one that
Bowling.
probably usually hurts the most.
And that break shot there,
Start
to scratch in the opposite middle, we've seen it once in this whole event, and that was Jason Shaw. What a time. Look at this. Right across the face of the one and scratch.
Yeah, and you notice no wing ball when you cross the one, break from their right-hand side, hitting the extreme left of the one. That's the big no-no. And I'll tell you, as far as to get to Hill, these balls couldn't have laid any better for Kuwait. 7 maybe a little tricky if it doesn't go by the 8, but I think it does pass. I'd stay above this myself. I wouldn't go down to the bottom rail. I'd just draw back a little bit. That leaves an easy 1-rail path off of the 4 to get to the 5.
Yeah, this rail's been a little bit pingy, we feel, so let's just pay attention to the cue ball.
Usually when putting side spin, it won't bounce as much, but I think it is a little more grippy today for sure.
حاول اطلع لك هني.
And I'm assuming the 7 does pass the 8. These guys really haven't discussed it too much, so.
Yeah, he's done well. He had to hit it that hard to get the cue ball back into the centre, so he didn't leave his partner a big angle. Big angle wouldn't have been end of the world there.
He's coming back behind the 7, so it doesn't pass the 8. Yeah, a little off angle here. He's going to have to come with a shot.
Well, this is not as hard as what Lian Han had in the last rack. This is a lot more favourable for Omar. Key to this shot is don't play it too hard. Let the pocket swallow the ball. Oh, okay. Just a little right.
Yeah, we discussed that moisture. Not only will the rails liven up, but when the rails liven up, the pockets get a little tighter.
Would have liked this to have bounced a little more.
Skid.
It wasn't a skid. He threw his whole body into the shot.
Yeah, he kind of shouldered it, and what happens is the cue ball slides away and makes the ball grab a lot more, and that's, he said it's skid, but again, I think it's more on the stroke than it is some material on the ball.
Yeah, and when you know the whole match is riding on that one shot, that pocket just closes up.
Han's got to come with a long one again, and it's dead straight, so I doubt he rolls it.
He's jacked up because he's too straight to roll the cue ball through. And he's missed it. He's rattled it for the match. What has he left?
Well, he got really fortunate. They're going to have to move the 9 ball down table, I believe, unless he... The 9's off a hair, I guess maybe a kick shot at the 9, but otherwise pretty difficult.
You have it, yes.
This is the drama you want to see in a match.
غريبة الطقة.
2 rattled 9 balls and no clean shot on it. What is Kuwait going to do here?
نزلها تحت.
Extension, please.
Well, this is the one time you can lay on the 9 if you're not fearing Shishap coming up and kicking the 9 in right behind you.
يمدي لأن في سلايدنج. علق الجيس هني بس لا يصير دبل كس. مع سايد يمين بدير اسمع مني. لا تحاتي لا تحاتي كلها بطولة.
The 9 ball's not frozen, right, JJ?
That's what I'm saying, yeah. He could just lay on top of this, making it very difficult.
Yeah, I'd be laying on top. I don't even know what he's attempting here.
He's just trying to get it to the back.
He's not. This is madness.
Yeah.
This is absolute madness.
Well, the one thing is, I don't think Omar would have let him in that manner.
Well, the fist bump in, so that's what they played. A good cue ball, but And we just lay on top of the 9, but Yap's go for the match now.
Does he level out? No, he's going to elevate.
Lianhan's praying to the skies in the distance.
May have 4-railed it.
No,
It's gonna
Lian,
get. It's gonna.
sit back down.
It's gonna get up a little bit.
Settle down now, please, thanks.
Well, everyone has had a shot at the 9 ball for the win, and let's do it again.
Oh, it wobbled, but it's gone in. What a rack of 9 ball that was. Singapore have had their chance, 2 chances to beat Kuwait. Kuwait will be breaking. Oh man, he wasn't laughing 3 minutes ago, let me tell you.
That's what nerves will do to you. Everybody had a little shot. I mean, Bader really didn't have much, but everyone else had an honest-to-goodness chance at winning this game, and those pockets are just... Now, Aloysius Yap here, you'd expect him to make that. He has been absolutely on fire. I took a look, and Aloysius Yap won the World Juniors Championship in 2014. Another 5 World Juniors champions are still in the tournament here. We have Ko Ping Chung in 2013, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, Ko Pin Yi, almost full days.
Thank you for deciding. Right. Kuwait to break.
It's time for a 1-rack shootout. Omar Al-Shaheen. He's going to be breaking in the final rack of this match. And he's gone full power, JJ.
I definitely think that's the break. No reward, really pretty well struck overall. And a super difficult rollout situation with the 7 there. Where are you going to roll out? Very easy to play safe behind the 7 if they go up table with the cue ball. Tell you, I'm looking for some cover here somehow. I don't know. I may bump the 4 down on the 7 maybe and just lay him on that point on the left side pocket there. And
what about just flicking the 3 onto the pink 4?
not terrible. I don't know. And just where you're going with the cue ball though.
I think you'll leave a piece of the 1.
Just a hair of a bump on it, huh? Are they thinking they can get through there? Heavy instructions here.
They like it. They must be able to see this.
I don't think. This will fool you sometimes when those balls are staggered like that, the 5 and 6.
They like it, JJ.
Yeah, but what's the shot? Are they cutting it in, I guess?
Yeah, make the ball. Get the cue ball over to the left.
3 rails or 1 rail?
Oh, another hill match where we've seen a ball pocket and a scratch.
And really, again, probably didn't deserve that as well. Guess he caught just a little left English. He had to use left to get in between those 2 balls, I think. Otherwise, you just shoot that with a straight high ball, maybe even a touch of right. And do you think they considered where the cue ball was going? Because he definitely had to add left, I think, to get through there. I don't think you would add left otherwise.
Yeah, it was a brave shot to take on.
And pretty unfortunate.
Incredible back-to-back matches. The first 2 matches of today's session have both gone hill. Both times the team breaking didn't get a shot on the lowest ball. Well, we thought Kuwait didn't get a shot on the ball, but he proved he did, and the scratch was what was let Singapore in with this chance.
I was about to say, I would probably be aggressive around here, coming around for the right-hander on this left side rail.
Top rail's bouncing a little firmer than the others due to the heat.
And I think you just got to float a couple rails a little above the 9 for the 9 in the lower right. A little high right English. Let the spin take. He could draw the ball, I guess, but it seems like to me the draw has gotten out of hand with the speed control at times.
Yeah, I'm with you. Just a little right spin. Use this second rail over to the bottom right rail as I was looking from the overhead, and just let Yap swing the cue ball in. Something tells me he's playing for the 9 in the bottom right corner.
No, that was exactly the way to play it. If you end up with a little bit of a cut, no big deal. You don't want to fall on the rail, hill.
Yeah, what a positional shot he's played there. Talk about taking the heat off your partner on the match-winning 9. And it's there.